11 learners. I am Teacher Sigrid C. Junio, your Earth and Life Science teacher. How are you today? Are you excited for today's lesson? If so, let's start! After going through this lesson, you are expected to explain that the Earth consists of 4 subsystems, across whose boundaries matter and energy flow. Before we will head on to our lesson, you will answer a pre-test. Here is the instruction. Choose the letter that bears the correct answer. Write your answers on a separate sheet of paper. Do not leave any item unanswered. Did I make myself clear? Okay, let's start! Question number 1. Which of the following is not one of the 4 subsystems of the Earth? A. Biosphere, B. Hydrosphere, C. Watersphere, or letter D. Geosphere? The correct answer is letter C. Watersphere. Question number 2. Earth contains all living organisms, including those on the land, in the water and air. Which subsystems best describes the statement? A. Biosphere, B. Hydrosphere, C. Atmosphere, or letter D. Geosphere? The answer is letter A. Biosphere. Number 3. Among the 4 subsystems, which is composed of a mixture of gases that surrounds the Earth? A. Nitrogen, B. Atmosphere, C. Biosphere, or letter D. Kingdom? The answer is letter B. Atmosphere. Number 4. What part of the Earth's sphere make up hydrosphere? A. Glaciers, B. Groundwater, C. Seawater and inland water, or letter D. All of the above? The answer is letter D. All of the above. Last question. In what subsystem of the Earth are the rocks and minerals found? A. Atmosphere, B. Biosphere, C. Hydrosphere, or letter D. Geosphere? The correct answer is letter D. Geosphere. Who got a perfect score? Who almost made it? Don't worry, class, because we haven't started yet. Too much is in store. Welcome once again to the Earth and Life Science class with the lesson, Origin and Structure of the Earth, the Subsystems. In your study of Earth, you found out that our planet is dynamic, and each part of the Earth, land, water, air, and life are interconnected and continuously interact with one another. The interconnectivity parts that form a complex whole define a system. The interacting parts in the Earth's system are called subsystems. A subsystem is defined as a small system contained in a bigger or broader one. Just like the human body, the Earth consists of systems that coexist and interact in one way or another. The four subsystems of the Earth include the geosphere, the atmosphere, hydrosphere, and the biosphere. The natural interactions that exist among these systems make life possible on this planet. In this lesson, you will learn about the features of each of the subsystems and explain that the Earth consists of these four subsystems across whose boundaries matter and energy flow. Geosphere. The geosphere is the inner layer of the Earth extending from its surface to the inner core of the planet. This layer is made up of solid rock and habitable ground. The thickness of the geosphere is approximately 6,730 kilometers. It is made up of rocks, minerals, magma, and sand. The geosphere is made up of three concentric layers: the crust, the mantle, and the core. The crust is the thinnest outermost layer of the geosphere. The thickness of the crust varies from 5 to 30 kilometers. It is made up of continents and the bottoms of the oceans. It is broken up into several tectonic plates. These make up the crust and also the mantle. They are found in a layer called the lithosphere. Tectonic plates are constantly moving, molding the crust. These movements causes earthquakes. Second layer of the geosphere is called the mantle. It is 2,900 kilometers thick. The temperature is very high, ranging from 700 to 1,300 degrees Celsius. That is why it is made up of molten rock called magma. The core is the innermost layer of the Earth. It is 3,500 kilometers thick, and the inner part of the core is made up of solid iron, where the outer part is made up of liquid iron and nickel. The temperature in the core is ultra-high, ranging from 4,400 to 6,000 degrees Celsius. Atmosphere. The Earth's atmosphere. The layer of gas surrounding the Earth is called atmosphere. It is an essential element for life on the Earth to exist. It makes all living things be able to breathe, and it protects us from rays coming from the sun and space. And it also prevents large changes in temperature during day and night. The atmosphere changes its composition according to its height. It becomes less and less dense with less and less air. The atmosphere is divided into 5 layers: the troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. The troposphere is the interior layer, the closest one to the Earth's surface. It reaches 12 kilometers in height, and within it, it is where phenomenon we call the weather happens, the climate. The stratosphere reaches an average height of 50 kilometers, although in some points it reaches 70 kilometers. Inside the stratosphere, we can find the ozone layer, which is essential for life. because it filters ultraviolet light coming from the sun. If it doesn't exist, these rays would end life on our planet. The mesosphere is situated between 50 to 80 kilometers over the Earth's surface. It is the coldest layer in the atmosphere. It can reach less than 90 degrees below zero. The thermosphere, also called ionosphere, reaches 400 kilometers. It is where the northern lights take place. The exosphere is the last layer in the atmosphere and is situated between 400 to 2,000 kilometers. Hydrosphere. Earth from the space looks blue, as major part of the Earth's surface is covered with water. And this is the reason why Earth is known as the water planet or blue planet. And this abundance of water is what distinguishes the Earth from other planets of our solar system. We all know all the water on the surface, below the ground, and surrounding the Earth comes under hydrosphere. We can also see water in different forms, like in river, seas, oceans, snow, rain, glaciers, and ice caps. Here, if you observe, water is present in solid form, in glacier, snow, and ice caps. It also exists in liquid form in river, sea, ocean, and rainfall. Now, can water be present in gaseous state? Yes, we all have seen the steam coming out from the boiling water. The steam is water in gaseous state. So, we can say water exists in all three states of matter: the solid, liquid, and gas. If you will look at the distribution of water in different forms, here on Earth, 71% of the Earth is covered with water, and the remaining 29% is land. And about 97% of this water are seas and oceans. And so, we call this water as marine water. As it has more amounts of dissolved salts, it is not fit for drinking. And the remaining 3% is fresh water. It has less dissolved salts, that is why it is fit for drinking. So, the total fresh water major part is locked in glaciers and ice caps, followed by the underground water, and just a small amount is located in river and lakes. So we can compare this small portion of water which is available for drinking with the total water available on the earth. This is the reason why we must put efforts in conserving water. Biosphere. Bio meaning life. It contains all the life on the earth. Living beings are found everywhere on the earth, even on the place where appear to be uninhabited. The biosphere overlaps the atmosphere, lithosphere, and hydrosphere. We are part of the biosphere, the crops that we grow, and the pets that we keep. Every living being, from tiny bacteria to blue whales, are part of the Earth's biosphere. Okay, it's time for your post-test. For the direction, choose the letter that bears the correct answer. Do not leave any item unanswered. Question number 1. Oxygen, water vapor, nitrogen, and other gases help organisms to survive. Which Earth sphere contains these materials? A. Biosphere, B. Atmosphere, C. Hydrosphere, or letter D. Geosphere. The correct answer is letter B. Atmosphere. Number 2. Which gas dominates the Earth's atmosphere? A. Carbon dioxide, B. Helium, C. Nitrogen, or letter D. Oxygen. Correct answer is letter C. Nitrogen. Question number 3. Ozone plays an important part for organisms to stay alive. To what sphere does ozone belong? A. Atmosphere, B. Biosphere, C. Geosphere, or letter D. Hydrosphere. The answer is letter A. Atmosphere. Number 4. Which term used to describe the thin layer of solid rock that makes up the outermost part of the Earth? A. Core, B. Crust, C. Mantle, or D. Biosphere. The answer is letter B. Crust. Last question. Which subsystem suits the statement global ecological system interacting with each other? A. Biosphere, B. Atmosphere, C. Hydrosphere, or letter D. Geosphere. The correct answer is letter A. Biosphere. Have you answered all the questions correctly? If so, good job! I will be collecting all your answer sheets at the end of the week. That's it for today. I hope you learned something for today's lesson.